Talk about a fried egg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. I mean, she made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Wednesday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us. A Wednesday night that finds the Jacksonville Jaguars back to work at the Miller Electric Center. I was down there earlier today inside the Jaguar locker room as preparations are well underway to a trip to Mile High, Denver, Colorado, the 12-2 Denver Broncos, the 10-4 Jacksonville Jaguars, in what is an enormous game in the AFC. And I do believe it is getting some of the attention nationally. I know ESPN has talked a lot about it, NFL Network as well. So it's not getting ignored, but I saw the map that comes out that shows where the game will be televised. It's not a national game by any stretch of the imagination. It's a 4:05 game on Fox, even though it's two AFC teams. Sometimes there is a crossover, so Fox will have it. And it's obviously being shown here, I think being shown in some parts of New England and obviously in the Rocky Mountain area. But by no means is a game between two teams that are a combined 22-6, maybe getting the amount of viewership you would think this game deserves. Nevertheless, it is a massively important game in the AFC. Jacksonville, with a win, would certainly continue to lead the AFC South and would still be in a position for potentially a 1 or 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. With a loss combined with a Houston win, Jacksonville would go from the 3 seed entering Sunday to arguably the 7 seed leaving Sunday. So that's how important it is for the Jaguars. For the Broncos, they're trying to wrap up home field. There is a scenario, I believe, where if Denver wins and New England loses, Denver is on the doorstep of home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. But much like Jacksonville, if Denver loses on Sunday, well, then it gets complicated. Because then they're in a battle with New England for home field. Jacksonville is right in the mix for the number 1 seed. And the LA Chargers are lurking. The Chargers are 2 games back, and they play Denver in Week 18. So you want to talk about some gigantic Jacksonville Jaguar fans this week. Those are our guys out in L.A., Harbaugh, Herbert, and the Los Angeles Chargers. So we're going to spend a ton of time on that, as you can imagine. As I did say earlier, I was in the Jaguar locker room earlier today, had one-on-one conversations with defensive back Buster Brown, who has played terrific football, including getting that ridiculous interception on Sunday in the win over the Jets. You'll hear my conversation with Buster Brown coming up in a matter of moments. I also went one-on-one with defensive lineman B.J. Green, who got his first official quarterback sack in the National Football League on Sunday. Remember, back during the L.A. Charger game, B.J. Green absolutely obliterated Justin Herbert, but was called for a roughing the passer penalty, which was a nonsense call. It was ridiculous. He basically got penalized for hitting Justin Herbert too hard. But nevertheless, that sack got taken away from him. This one against the Jets did not. So the first official sack in the career of B.J. Green was last Sunday. I went one-on-one with him as well earlier today in the Jaguar locker room, and you will hear that conversation coming up in less than 20 minutes. Also, Leon Searcy joins me tonight. John Shipley of Jaguars on SI, the coach Mark Duffner as well. We are absolutely loaded. We are with you until 10 o'clock. And as always, Jacksonville, we are glad you are spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. I will tell you as well, Gator basketball playing tonight. They're going to win this game and the next two non-conference games. They'll start SEC play 9-4. You wanted them to look good tonight, though, playing a much overmatched St. Francis team, and Florida is doing just that. They're up 35 with 7.5 minutes to go, well on their way to getting their 7th victory of the year. Every night on Hacker After Dark, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night and Dylan Denmark. Let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
No big deal.
It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
You'll hear my one-on-one conversations with BJ Green and Buster Brown coming up in less than 15 minutes. Being down in the Jaguar locker room earlier today, a couple of things stood out. Talking to not only Green and not only Brown, but a few other players and people associated with the organization, a couple of things that just jumped right to the forefront today. And that's why I always love going down there on Wednesdays, getting a vibe for what's going on in the building, how people are feeling, that sort of thing. There is certainly a confidence with this Jaguar football team, and why wouldn't there be? They're 10-4. Their first 10-win season since 2017, only the second 10-win season dating all the way back to 2007. They're in first place in the division. They're almost a lock. Dare I say a lock. They have like a 98% chance, according to analytics, of making the playoffs in some capacity. So you would expect there to be a confidence in that locker room. There is also an excitement in that locker room. Look, football is a profession, right? It's their job. It's our job to analyze their job. And we get so caught up in the film breakdowns and this statistic and that performance and all this stuff. At the end of the day, it is a game, right? I mean, it is a game. It's supposed to be fun. And you want to talk about a team that's having fun right now. Well, that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. On offense, they've scored at least 25 points in 7 consecutive games. Every game since the bye week, they have scored at least 25 points. I believe they're the only team currently in the NFL that can say that. They're number 1 rush defense in the National Football League. They're more stingy against the run than any other team in the NFL. They're coming off a 5-game winning streak in 6 of the last 7. You're darn right they're having fun. I think anybody would be having fun in their position, and you can tell there is an excitement about what is going on in that locker room. But more so than that, and that was prevalent because I asked them about the excitement. You'll hear some comments coming up in a moment. I asked them about the confidence. You'll hear that coming up in a moment. But in talking to people down there today, both on the team and around the team, I guess I would say, one thing that really stood out, and I was kind of surprised about this, and I've noticed it earlier in the year, but you would think as it gets later, you know, the scale would get ticked up a little bit. There's a calmness about this football team. They're not making this Denver game any bigger than what it is. Now, it's a big game. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It has playoff implications. You're going to Mile High in mid to late December in a meaningful, big-time regular season NFL game. No doubt. But in talking to guys down there, even some of the younger players, there is a calmness. Maybe it's because they know they're good. Maybe it's because they believe that if they go out there and they execute to the best of their ability, they're going to go out there and win. But I didn't sense, being in the locker room today, that they were making this Denver game bigger than what it was. They were putting too much pressure on themselves. I got the sense that it was a calm, focused, confident football team heading out to Mile High on Sunday. And that's where I want to get into the veterans on this team. You know, talk about raising the floor of the roster. Now, these veterans have performed on the field, too. But the leadership, you know, I asked Buster Brown about some of the veteran defensive backs that are talking to them about big games. He singles out Jordan Lewis and Eric Murray, right? 2 new players on this team. I asked BJ Green about some of the veterans, and he singled out Trayvon and Hines Allen, but he also brought up DeJuan Smoot. He brought up Emmanuel Agba. He brought up, I believe, Austin Johnson, guys that have been around the block in this league. You know, we make so much in pro free agency about bringing in the 26, 27-year-olds on their second contract that are still ascending. And yeah, you would like to bring in some of those guys, no question. But I love more and more as we get deeper into this thing what James Gladstone did. Bringing in the Patrick McCarrys of the world, the Chuma Edogas of the world, the Jordan Lewis, the Eric Murray, the DeJuan Smoot, the Emmanuel Agba, the Austin Johnsons, and the Dennis Gardeck's. Good grief, Dennis Gardeck, absolutely. You just go on down the line. The Johnny Munts, the Quentin Morrises. All of those guys are in their first year here in Jacksonville. I'm sure you didn't run out and buy season tickets when those guys were brought in free agency. But I think all of those veterans that were brought in here to mix with all the youth, that is very beneficial right now. Because all those veterans who have played huge, big-time, meaningful games in the National Football League in the month of December, they are guiding these young guys and letting them have a calmness about them. Heading out to Denver on Sunday, and it is a calmness that might just indeed bring back a W on Sunday evening here to Northeast Florida. More on the Jaguars and the Broncos pretty much all night here on Hacker After Dark. The coach, Mark Duffner, also John Shipley, Jaguars on SI. They come up in the 9 o'clock hour. My buddy Leon Searcy, former Pro Bowl offensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars, joins me later on in the program. But coming up next, go into the Jaguar locker room with me. I was down there earlier today at the Miller Electric Center, caught up with defensive back Buster Brown and defensive lineman BJ Green, and you will hear those conversations next on a Wednesday night here in Jacksonville, Florida. And we're glad you're with us. Hacker After Dark till 10 o'clock. It's 1010XL, and it's 92.5 FM.
He's down on the ground. He is down.
A freak injury can wreck a football team and affect their championship dreams.
Wait, you're telling me I'm about to lose my number 1 wide receiver?
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
On 1010XL.
Truth Teller here, and I've solved all of your holiday problems and stress. A gift card from the Blue Crab Crab House. Get this, you buy a $50 gift card, and you get an additional $15 card for free. It's that simple, and as always at the Blue Crab Crab House, the best crabs in Jacksonville, oysters and seafood, period. Blue Crab Crab House, open every day except for Monday, off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
Ready for huge holiday savings? It's the Expert Automotive Giving Garage. This Christmas, they're driven to give back. Bring in any new wrap toy donation and get $50 off any service. That's $50 off repairs, diagnostics, or maintenance just for helping a child. Plus, they're giving you 50% off your oil change, $50 off any service with a toy, and 50% off oil changes. The Giving Garage at Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Wrap up your holiday list with a little help from 1010XL's Holiday Gift Guide. Find unique gift items from Jacksonville Flower Market, Hello Smooth Med Spa, and Green Acres Sporting Goods. Start shopping and saving at 1010XL.com.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up, and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, adorable mascot for Checkmate Coatings.
If you're thinking of refinishing your garage floor, there's 2 things you need to know about us. My family has been in the concrete coatings industry for more than 40 years.
And I was drawn 6 months ago by an artist in New Jersey.
Why is that even relevant?
Well, you said 40 years experience, so I had to give them something.
Over the years, we've worked closely with major manufacturers to develop a multi-layer application process that creates beautiful, durable, and long-lasting floors.
So even decades from now, your garage floor will look as gorgeous as it did the day it was installed.
Experience?
Check. Durable?
Check. Decades of experience making garage floors gorgeous? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
What racehorse won the Belmont Stakes by 31 lengths? The answer next.
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Secretariat won the Triple Crown in 73, including winning the Belmont by 31 lengths.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,800 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design get us organized for the holidays. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and so much more, Closets by Design will design a custom storage solution for all of your spaces. Nothing says happy holidays like a home that is peaceful and clutter-free. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before year-end and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
It's the end-of-year sales event going on now at Atlantic Infinity. This is Hayes Carlyon. Get 0% interest on select new Infinity models and special lease offers on the stunning QX60. Luxury, performance, and style, all in one drive. All new vehicles are backed with the exclusive Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value just for buying smarter. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com to see all new models or visit the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yeah, it's a big game. I feel like last week was a big game, Colts was a big game, and this one's no different. It's a big game for us, and at this point in the season with where we're at, when you've put yourself in position like we have, and obviously the Broncos have, and a bunch of teams in the AFC have, every game is huge at the end of the year, which is where you want to be. So I think there's no secret about how important it is, but it's still just it's a game, and you got to prepare the same way. You can't put too much pressure on it. You just got to go out there and play.
The thoughts of Jaguar quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who met the media earlier today. Thank you to Jaguars.com. Trevor, by the way, announced as the AFC Offensive Player of the Week, which tends to happen when you get 380 yards of total offense and you account for 6 touchdowns, 5 through the air, and, of course, that rushing touchdown and that 48-20 just demolishing of the New York Jets. On the Jaguar injury report, pretty good for this time of year. Bashal Tutin obviously did not practice with the finger. We expect him to be out. Danny Strigow did not practice due to that ankle injury that he suffered on Sunday. We'll see about that. I would tend to doubt that. We'll see what happens tomorrow. They did put Jack Kaiser on IR, so you did lose a valuable special teams component. So they'll have to have some guys step up there. I guess the curious one was obviously Joshua Hines-Allen, who did not practice with an illness and a shoulder, but he finished the game on Sunday. He was out there at the very end, so I think that might be more an illness today than a shoulder. I don't know this, but my anticipation is that Joshua Hines-Allen would be back on the practice field tomorrow to put all worries about that to bed. We'll see. That's what I expect to happen. We will see what happens at practice tomorrow. I was inside the Jaguar locker room earlier, went one-on-one with defensive back Buster Brown and with defensive lineman B.J. Green. We'll play those conversations for you in one moment. But first and foremost, here on Hacker After Dark, we like to give back to you, the hardworking men and women on Northeast Florida property. And at 8:20 Eastern Standard Time here on December 17th, I believe, we have something for you, the hardworking folks that listen to Hacker After Dark on a nightly basis. Denmark, what do we have for the good folks this evening?
I got a 4-pack of tickets to the Sporting Jacks for the ladies match when they play the Tampa Bay Sun FC. That happens this Saturday, December 20th.
4-pack of tickets, Sporting Jacks, this Saturday, December 20th. If you want to go to Sporting Jacks with a 4-pack of tickets, simply be caller 4 for that 4-pack right now, 641-1010, 641-1010, I guess 904-641-1010, and Dylan Denmark will hook you up with that 4-pack of tickets to Sporting Jacks coming up this Saturday night, December the 20th. Down in the Jaguar locker room earlier today, had the opportunity to go one-on-one with defensive back Buster Brown, who is probably playing the best football of his career. Had a ridiculous interception on Sunday in the win over the Jets. Here is my one-on-one with DB Buster Brown.
All right, Hacker down here in the 1010XL Jaguar locker room getting ready for the Jaguars and the Broncos on Sunday. We got Jaguar defensive back Buster Brown with us here. First and foremost, man, congrats on that interception last week. That was big time.
Yeah, thank you, man. It was a good play, you know. I'm glad I made it, and we're moving on from it.
From our point of view, the fans' point of view, looks like you're playing some of the best football of your career. Do you feel like you are?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I improved over the years, and man, I'm just trying to take one day at a time and just keep it going.
You know, watching the game last week, it looked awesome to us from a player's point of view. We guys went back and watched the film. Did it look as good on film as it felt on Sunday? It looked pretty dominating.
Yeah, it looked good. Just watching it and just seeing how I caught it, I mean, it was unbelievable, and it was an amazing play.
Football's supposed to be fun, right? I mean, it's a profession, but it's supposed to be fun. And you get 12-2 against 10-4 on the road, mid-December, huge playoff implications on the line. How much fun is this for you guys in this locker room to play a game like this in Denver on Sunday?
Man, we always say it's a kid's game, man. We always have fun, and, man, we just enjoying it and just trying to keep it going. And, man, it's going to be a good one versus the Broncos. So, man, we ready.
Everybody wants home field advantage, but there is something to be said about going into an environment like Mile High and a game like this to try to, I guess, shut everybody up, for lack of better terminology. Do you guys look forward to that opportunity to go on the road and play a game like this?
Most definitely. You know, every game from here on out matters, so we're just taking it one game at a time, and we focus on the Broncos. And, man, it's going to be a crazy environment, but, you know, our preparation going to prepare us for that during the week, and we're ready. We're going to be ready.
You're still a relatively young guy in this league. Who are some of the veterans here, you know, that are kind of giving guidance to the young guys, maybe that haven't played in a big-time game like this? Who do you guys kind of lean on this week?
You know, Jordan Lewis and Eric Murray. You know, those guys been in the league for a while, and, you know, if you have a question, you can always go to them guys, and they always got advice for everything, so them the leaders.
When you look at Bo Nix and the Sean Payton offense, I know it's early in the week, but what have you guys seen on film so far?
You know, they want to run the ball, pass the ball, and, you know, get the ball to their playmaker. So, you know, we're going to have to eliminate that and stop the run.
You mentioned stopping the run. There's not a team better in this league right now than the Jaguars in stopping the run. Why are you guys so good at stopping the run?
It's how we practice, man. We practice hard, and we own in on the technique, and I feel like everybody on the defense know what they do, know what they need to do, and we just own in on the technique.
As we wrap up, Buster, your coach, some of the players in this locker room have talked about lack of respect nationally. Now you go play the number 1 seed in the AFC currently. Do you look at this as a potential statement game for this franchise?
Most definitely. You know, we earn our respect. We're going to earn our respect. You know, there's a lot of people that don't give us respect, but it don't matter. So we're going to earn our respect, and we're going to handle our job.
Buster, best of luck on Sunday. We'll be watching.
Thank you.
There you go, Buster Brown with us here on Hacker After Dark. You know, one thing I did not have on my Jaguar bingo card, well, quite frankly, there's a lot of things that I didn't have on my Jaguar bingo card, but Buster Brown being cornerback 1 right now, that's real. For he and Jordan Lewis, Jordan being, you know, mainly the nickel, Buster on the outside. You know, Greg Newsome, I think, has done some nice things. Jarian Jones has done some nice things. But I think coming into the year, you kind of expected Jordan Lewis to do some good things. You kind of expected Jarian Jones to do some good things. Greg Newsome wasn't even here, right? They traded for him, And then obviously we expected Travis Hunter to be in the fold, and he's not due to injury. Montaric Brown has taken the opportunity this year, and he has just run with it, man. Now, remember, he battled some injuries during training camp, and he came in, and we knew that the coaches liked him because every time you asked the coach about the secondary, they brought up Buster Brown. But as the season has gone along, I don't know if there's a better defensive back on this football team. Certainly there aren't many that are playing any better than Buster Brown right now. He is a guy that you need to keep. He is a guy that is going to be one of the foundation pieces of this team. That interception last week, that was a big boy play. That was fantastic on his part. So Montaric Brown, tip of the cap to you. Buster Brown, great performance so far this year. And the Jaguars secondary needs to keep it going because they certainly have a task this week with Bo Nix and obviously his weapons like Cortland Sutton. You got Evan Ingram, the former Jaguar, is out there. Franklin from Oregon, Nix's college teammate, has done some nice things as well. The Denver Broncos have a lot of weapons, Marvin Mims, and you're going to have to neutralize some of these guys in order to come back from Mile High with a victory. You're also going to have to put pressure on Bo Nix. There is no doubt about that. One of the pleasant surprises for the Jaguars this year has been B.J. Green, an undrafted rookie. Now, B.J. Green should have had his first career sack against the Chargers when he just obliterated Justin Herbert, but he was called for unnecessary roughness. It was a horrifically terrible, bad, awful call. He didn't say that. I said it for him. The call sucked, and he got that sack taken away from him. But against the Jets on Sunday, he finally did get his first NFL sack that counts in the record books as he got to Brady Cook in the win over the Jets. B.J. Green has had a nice rookie year, and he's going to be a guy that needs to continue as the Jaguars move into the postseason. I went one-on-one in the Jaguar locker room earlier on with Jaguar rookie defensive end B.J. Green.
All right, inside the Jaguar locker room, Jaguars getting ready for the Denver Broncos on Sunday. We got Jaguar defensive end B.J. Green with us here on 1010XL. B.J., how'd practice go out there today?
Man, it was amazing, man. Like, honestly, just being able to just get back to the basics, which we always do. We don't, never too high, never too low. We always come in, we look at what we need to correct first and, get ready for a new week.
They didn't take that sack away from you this time. How good did that one feel last Sunday?
Man, it was amazing. I looked around a little bit, kind of like in disbelief, but, it's finally glad to have that feeling again, you know what I'm saying? So it's glad to have that feeling, and it's real this time. So now, just go out there and play ball, you know what I'm saying? You're not really going out there chasing nothing. You finally got that one, 99 to go. So.
I mean, that was a dominating performance, offensively, defensively. When you guys went back and watched the film, did it look as good on the film as you remember it being on Sunday?
Oh, obviously we take credit for the dominant performance, but we're always looking for room for improvement. So we're looking at what we can do better, even if it was a dominant performance. Those are always things that we can do better and perfect our game. Even this late in the year. So.
From a defensive point of view, stopping the run is obviously a mindset, and you guys are the best in the league at stopping the run. Why is that working so well for you guys right now?
It's because we focus on the details, every week, week in, week out, we hone in on the details, we don't do anything outside of ourselves, Coach Camp and, Coach Edwards, they do a good job of making sure that we get back down to the basics. It's not doing anything outside of ourselves, all 11 of us doing our jobs, when we do our jobs, that's the result you get on every Sunday.
It's one game at a time, but this is a big one on Sunday. What's your thought on Denver heading out there on Sunday?
They're a good team, but like I said before, it's all about what we can do and what we do ourselves. As long as everybody else does their job, we're all going out there doing our 111s. We run to the goal, violent finishes. Everything will work itself out.
We think so much of football as a profession, and it is to an extent. It's also a game. It's fun. You got 12-2 Denver. You got 10-4 Jacksonville. Middle of December, playoff. Opportunities on the line. This has got to be a ton of fun for you guys.
Man, I'm just living the dream, honestly. Just, playing meaningful football in December as a rookie, playing meaningful snaps, being able to be in this position with these amazing guys, these amazing players playing these big games, what more could you ask for? So just being able to take all that in at the same time, knowing that this is just the beginning for me and just being able to do these things is a blessing in itself.
Final question. As a young player in this league, who are some of the guys in this locker room you turn to when you're getting ready for a big game like this? Who are some of the vets that have been, kind of guiding you this week?
Man, all the vets in my D-line room, Josh, Trey, Smoot, Ogba, Eric, Derek, D Ham, AJ, like there's no vet that I can't turn to. I think that's what makes this team special. No vet turns us away. We have young guys, we have old guys, but every vet, they have meaningful, life lessons and football IQ that they can teach us. There's no question that I have that goes unanswered. There's no stupid questions. Well, actually, I take that back. There are some stupid questions, but they embrace that about us. Nobody's really scared. They rather teach us than have us learn the hard way. So I think that's what helps us play fast. It's awesome.
BJ, congrats on the sack last week. Best of luck on Sunday in Denver.
Man, thank you. There's more to come.
I just can't say enough about BJ Green and Danny Strigow. And the cool thing is, in the locker room, they're right next to one another. So you always see them talking, communicating, and what a ride it's been for both guys. Undrafted rookies playing the same position, that both make the 53, and that both are playing meaningful football and meaningful snaps for a team that is destined for the postseason. What a rookie year for both guys. Now, Strigow got a little banged up last week. Hopefully it's not too bad. He did not practice today with an ankle. We'll see what happens there. But BJ Green recording his first sack of his NFL career, and it just must be so awesome to go through this experience together. Two undrafted rookies playing the same position, now being active on the 53-man roster every Sunday and playing meaningful snaps for a team that is in playoff position here in 2025. Speaking of meaningful games, let's get a couple of more in from Jaguar quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Former Jaguar offensive tackle Leon Searcy joins us in less than 10 minutes. Trevor, earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center, talked about Mile High, talked about playing on the road in December in what should be a pretty wild environment for such a meaningful game coming up this Sunday.
Yeah, it's, obviously it seems like we play a lot of road games. We just had 2 back-to-back at home, but just part of the operation that you get used to dealing with, especially this point in the year. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a great environment there. Just got to communicate clearly, and obviously we're going to be on the silent, and we got to manage that and get in and out of the huddle so we have time to operate and communicate. But yeah, I got no doubt it's going to be loud, so we're going to have to be really, really on point with our communication and nonverbal communication, make sure we're on the same page.
Denver is the only team in the National Football League that is yet to lose at home. They are 7-0 at Mile High this year as the Jaguars go in there on Sunday. Final thought from Trevor Lawrence, he's going to see an old friend on Sunday. Evan Ingram is a Denver Bronco. Evan Ingram was a fan favorite here for 3 years. Evan Ingram did a lot of good things in a Jaguar uniform, but he was released when the new regime took over, and you can understand why with the emergence of Brenton Strange. But Evan Ingram will be playing against his former team on Sunday, and Trevor Lawrence was asked about being able to see Evan Ingram this week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing Evan over there, and it'd be great to see him. Obviously, they're having a great year, and got a lot of respect for him, and we got a great relationship. So I'm sure I'll talk to him a little bit before and after the game. But yeah, it'll be interesting seeing him.
The thoughts of Trevor Lawrence, Jaguar starting quarterback, earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center. Again, thank you to our friends at Jaguars.com. Let's talk to a man that knows a thing or two about winning big football games for the Jaguars in Denver, Colorado. Leon Searcy obviously was on that team that arguably had the biggest win in the history of the Jaguar franchise when they went out there January 4th of 1997 and beat John Elway and the Broncos in the AFC divisional playoff. We'll talk with Leon about that game a little bit, certainly look back on the win over the Jets, but more so preview the big one on Sunday between the 12-2 Broncos and the 10-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. It is a Wednesday night here in Northeast Florida, and as always, Jacksonville, we're glad you're with us. Hacker After Dark with you until 10 o'clock on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Bone crunching, field flipping, game-changing plays. After the game, catch the superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lacey, your bar manager here at Fourscore Golf Tavern. We're officially kicking off the holiday season, and both of our locations, San Marco and Gate Parkway, are fully festive and ready for you to enjoy. Make sure you stop by and check out our holiday cocktail menu, lunch, and dinner specials. Happy hour is all day, every Tuesday. The fun continues with 10 top-of-the-line simulators between both locations, offering multiple games in almost every sport you can think of. So gather your group, get in the spirit, and come celebrate at Fourscore, the place to be in Jacksonville for holiday fun.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. And if your dream is to create that space where you're living large in your backyard, then you need to get with the good people at CSS. They put a gas log in our fireplace, an awesome fire pit out back where the kids can toast s'mores and we can just hang out and watch the game. It's all part of your outdoor living experience with CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS. CSS.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. You know, invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Aaron Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Every joint in the body was designed for movement. Inactivity can cause stiffness, weakness, weight gain, and decrease in overall balance. So you should strive for at least 30 minutes a day of exercises that promote flexibility like yoga, strengthening with weights, and cardiovascular fitness like walking, swimming, or biking. The more you move, the better you will feel and your overall health will benefit. Let's get healthy, Jax. Go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Broncos, Sunday, 4 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL in what is a big one in the AFC. Combined records of 22-6. The 12-2 Broncos and the 10-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's preview the game. Let's take a brief look back on the dominating win over the New York Jets with a former Jaguar Pro Bowler. You hear him every day on XL Primetime, my buddy Leon Searcy, who's always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. Leon, how we doing, man?
Good, bro.
You know, Leon, you and I had the fifth quarter on Sunday. You've had a couple of days to digest. Boy, couple of days later, still as dominating a performance as it was Sunday night. And I got to tell you, going back watching Trevor Lawrence again on tape, my goodness, what an effort on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, he's playing his best football at the right time in the month of December. I mean, this is when you make your playoff push. This is what separates the pretenders from the contenders. And Trevor's playing lights out right now, bro. He's got to be playing like a top 10, maybe top 5 quarterback right now. Ever since that game against the Texans, man, he's like 13-4 as far as touchdown to interception ratio. Plus, he's taking care of the football. He's not fumbling. He's utilizing his legs, escaping, getting first downs, getting touchdowns. He's throwing with anticipation. He's throwing with efficiency. He's got a bit of a swagger about him right now, bro. It's almost like he knows he can make every throw. When Liam told him a couple of weeks ago to let it rip, bro, boy, has he been doing it.
The Jaguars have scored 25 or more in 7 straight games. And, Leon, you mentioned Liam Cohen. Boy, he was in his bag on Sunday. Some of those play designs were unbelievable. You know, you watch the guys that break down the film, the Dan Orlovskis of the world. They just rave about the game plan that Liam Cohen had last week.
I mean, schematically, he tries to create mismatches. Well, we got a pretty good receiving core. We got guys that can beat you deep, beat you in the middle. We got guys that can find the soft spots in the zone, beat man coverage, get separation. All the things that you look for in quality wide receivers. So, yeah, but he gave the Broncos something else to look for, too, because, you know, our backs are mismatches when you have to bring a linebacker off on them, or you got to drop a safety on them. So, I mean, he utilized our backs with ATN and Tuden, where he created matchups where both of the guys ended up scoring touchdowns. So, yeah, that was a little wrinkle in the offense that I'm sure, you know, he gave Denver. They might have something sound as far as our coverage goes for the wide receivers, but now they got some other stuff they got to worry about as far as our running backs.
Former Jaguar Pro Bowl offensive tackle Leon Searcy with us here on Hacker After Dark. Leon, I remember when Travis Etienne was doubted in the offseason and in training camp. People were talking about Tank Bigsby. People were talking about, well, is Etienne going to get traded? Is he going to get flat out released? And now here we are in the middle portion of December. He's coming off a 3-touchdown performance, and he's on his way to a career year here in Jacksonville.
Absolutely. He's having a banner year. I think last year he may have got, 550 yards rushing. Right now he's on the verge of getting over 1,000 the next couple of games. Hey, I was one of the guys. I'm not going to lie. You know, I can admit when I was wrong. I was at training camp first couple of days, and I was saying, hey, Etienne's getting third-string reps. You know, Tuden and Tank are getting, first and second team reps. I thought he was out the door. I thought they sure were going to make a move on him. But he was resilient, bro. I like that. I like the fact that he fought his way through all of it. Had an outstanding camp, had an outstanding season thus far, and he's in the last year of his contract. So it's going to be very interesting to see once the season over with what the Jaguars decide to do with ATN, because I think right now they see him as a viable component to this offense.
Leon, it was the New York Jets last week, so we have to at least mention that. Maybe it's a coincidence, I don't know, but the first time the Jaguars were as healthy as they're going to be in the wide receiving core. Obviously, you're not getting Hunter back, but last week was the first time that we saw Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr., and Brenton Strange on the field together, and it was Trevor Lawrence's most prolific passing day. There's got to be a rhyme and a reason to that, correct?
Yeah, we're getting healthy at the right time. Especially with the matchup that we got going next week, a Denver Broncos team that is formidable on the defensive side of the ball. So, we need all hands on deck, bro. All hands on deck from the wide receiving core and from the offensive line. Everybody's got to be – and the offensive line is getting healthy too. We had some breakdowns, the last couple of weeks with, Walker Little being out and Van Lannon coming in, and McCarry was hurt at one time. We had to put guys in there. So, I mean, the offensive line and the wide receiving core is healthy. The offense is ready to go. It's locked and loaded.
Obviously, you know this better than most. The Jaguar offense, or any offense for that matter, is only as good as that offensive line. In the last 3 games, Leon, the Jaguar offensive line has not allowed a sack of Trevor Lawrence. They are simply getting the job done.
They are. I mean, clean pockets, bro. I mean, Trevor's able to not only step up in the pocket and make the accurate throws. He's protected on the backside as well. And then when there is an opportunity for him to scramble, he scrambles and uses his legs. But yeah, I mean, I gotta give Van Lander his flowers. You know, the last 3 weeks at left tackle, probably the hardest position for a right-handed quarterback, to be a journeyman and come in and play the way he's played the last 3 weeks, man, he's to be applauded. But you know, I don't want to sprain my wrist patting him on the back because we got a Denver Broncos team coming in next week that has 58 sacks as a unit. So he's going to have his hands full. Hopefully he can keep it up.
Leon, let's start previewing this Sunday. Again, Leon Searcy with us here on Hacker After Dark, the Broncos and the Jaguars. First and foremost, if there was bad news out of last week's game, it's that Bashal Tutin injured a finger. Now, I guess the good thing about that, it's not a knee or an ankle or anything like that. It is a finger. He's going to be out at least a week or two, a couple of weeks, I guess. So you would hope to get him back for the playoffs. But certainly that'll mean more of ETN and probably a very much increased role for LaQuint Allen Jr.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, ATN and Tutin were a nice little tandem last week against the Jets. And But next man up. I'm sure ATN and Quentin, they're probably studying film together, looking at how they can create problems for that defense. As far as I'm sure Liam Combs is going to do the same thing schematically to get them, because there was a lot of motion with ATN going out, outside against linebackers and safeties, and created mismatching opportunities. So not only that, bro, I mean, they got to be. LaQuinton's got to be, if he's in the game doing passing situations, he's got to be able to be someone formidable if they start blitzing, knowing which guy to pick up on blitzes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure, ATN is going to tutor him as far as watching film and everything, because when you got limited play like that, when you're not in the games as often as you should be, and you might get more plays this Sunday, you got to make sure you're well equipped on what you're doing.
Leon, you mentioned 58 sacks for the Denver Broncos. Zach Allen is really good. Nick Bonito is the best pass rusher in football that nobody talks about. It's going to be loud there in Denver. It is a huge game. This is a game where Jacksonville has to get back to their roots, man. They got to run the ball. I know last week was a lot about the passing attack. To offset that pass rush, Leon, don't you have to run the football and run it a lot on Sunday?
Yes, you have to. Because their pass rush is formidable. I mean, they lead the NFL, I believe, with 58 sacks. And the only way you can neutralize a pass rush, you got to run the ball. You got to pound the ball. You got to get back to your identity early in the season. I mean, early in the season, I don't think there was probably a team running the ball as well as we were running the ball effectively with ATN in the backfield and Tutin in the backfield. So we've got to get back to that. It's a road game in a hostile environment. With a good pass rush, you got to run the ball. You got to run it effectively, whether it's 7, 8, 9 men in the box. You got to find a way. If you got to use jumbo packages, whatever you need to do. Because I got to tell you, with the Broncos, they're going to probably stage their defense to have 8 in the box, and then they're going to probably have man coverage because they got 2 quality corners, especially with Surtain there. They're going to play lock-up man coverage and probably try to stop the run and make this team one-dimensional. So you can't abandon it. You got to stick with it. And the offensive line's got to put this game on their shoulders. If the offensive line runs the ball and protects Trevor, we win the game. This is all on the O-line right now. It ain't about Trevor. It ain't about the receiver. It's about the O-line. If you run the ball and you protect Trevor, you win the ball game.
Final moments with former Jaguar Pro Bowl offensive tackle Leon Searcy. Leon, if memory serves, you guys went out and won a pretty big game in Denver back in the 1996 season, January of 97. Now, I don't think Sunday will be the environment of an AFC divisional playoff game, but I do think it'll be a pretty good environment for late December, 2 of the best teams in the AFC, huge playoff stakes on the line. It is going to be as tough a road environment as Jacksonville has gone into this year. Describe what Jacksonville is walking into, because I know you've played out there at Mile High a bunch, including probably the biggest win in the history of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, they're walking into a title fight, bro. I mean, I know it's the regular season game, but it's essentially the 1 seed versus the 3 seed. It's going to be loud. It's going to be hostile. No one's there. There's going to be a lot of profane words said to you about you, you know, and it's going to be cold, and the altitude is going to affect you essentially. But saying all that, it'll only be a problem if you're allowed to be one. I mean, if you make it a game in the fourth quarter, all the pressure's on them. That was our mindset when we played the Broncos in '96. They jumped on us early, 12-0, and then by halftime we were up 13-12. They thought we was just going to go away, but we made it. We made it a title fight, and we made it a game in the fourth quarter to the point where they were we were up in the fourth quarter. So now all the pressure's on them. Because they were supposed to, I think they were double-digit favorites against us, and we were supposed to blow us out. They were cocky. So I'm saying this to this Jaguar team. You make it a game in the fourth quarter, the pressure's on them. You just go about your business, be diligent, be mistake-free, don't have any silly penalties because illegal procedures, because of the crowd noise, they're going to be silent count and all the other kind of stuff. They are going to try to use the cadence against our defense to get them to jump, so you got to be disciplined in that respect. But, man, just come out swinging. Come out swinging, and let's see who's standing when it's all said and done.
We just need Woody Page to go on social media and drop another Jaguars 29 years after the original to fire the Jaguars up a little more. All right, Leon, go ahead.
Is he still alive?
I think he is. I hope he is. I'm 99% sure that he is. Yeah, he's got to be because he was on Around the Horn not that long ago. And, yeah, he's still a media mogul, Woody Page.
Got you.
All right, what kind of game are you expecting on Sunday?
I'm expecting I'm expecting a game to go into the fourth quarter. I think legitimately this team is not the teams of old. I think it has more of a backbone. It has a lot to do with Liam Cohen, his personality, his attitude. He's going to have this team fired up. I'm calling the hack. I'm calling the upset, baby. 27-24 Jaguars.
Whew, and that would be quite the win for Jacksonville. And there is a world, Leon, where if they beat Denver and New England were to fall at Baltimore on Sunday night, the Jaguars could all of a sudden be the 2 seed at the end of Sunday if everything goes their way. We'll see. It should be quite the event. Jaguars-Broncos, Sunday, 4 o'clock. You'll hear it right here on 1010XL. Leon, appreciate you as always, man. We'll talk soon, pal.
You got it, bro.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000 and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Former Jags middle linebacker Tom McManus brings up grit to the ladies of helmets and heels.
You do it as tough as it is possible to do.
Tommy, Lauren, and Taylor.
Backed by Greenlaw Group. Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
It's the Jaguars' final home game of the 2025 regular season, and you don't want to miss it. Join us for our Fan Appreciation Game as the Jaguars face off against the Tennessee Titans in a can't-miss division matchup. It's your chance to cheer on the team as they take the field in their Prowler throwbacks for one last time this season. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action. Go to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch, so you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed. With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Food that's good for you can taste good too. Flame Broiler has protein-packed bowls to fuel your day. Introducing their new chicken avocado salad bowl. Made with romaine lettuce, rice, cabbage salad, and topped with a delicious house sesame dressing. It's a bowl full of goodness. Eat in, take out, or catered. Flame Broiler is easy to enjoy. Come in Monday through Sunday for happy hour, 2 to 5 p.m. for a chicken mini bowl and drink for $6.95 plus tax. 5 area Flame Broilers to serve you.
Hey, is your home ready for the holidays? Hicken here. Spots are filling up fast. Lock in yours today at ZeroResJacksonville.com and get 20% off all hard surface cleaning, tile and grout, hardwood, LVP. Happy holidays from all of us at Zero Res.
Ready for huge holiday savings? It's the Expert Automotive Giving Garage. This Christmas, they're driven to give back. Bring in any new wrap toy donation and get $50 off any service. That's $50 off repairs, diagnostics, or maintenance just for helping a child. Plus, they're giving you 50% off your oil change, $50 off any service with a toy, and 50% off oil changes. The Giving Garage at Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here, and nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Need some extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach is always looking to buy guns, guitars, surfboards, tools, and you know it, gold. Get cash today at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Halftime, Hacker After Dark. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock as we do every night right here on 1010XL and on 92.7 FM. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, the coach Mark Duffner, 50 years coaching experience in both the college game and the National Football League. We'll have the coach on towards the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour as we look ahead to this Denver Bronco game coming up on Sunday. Also, my buddy John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, will stop by in less than 15 minutes. We'll take a look not only at the Jaguars, a little AFC playoff picture as well. Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen. So a lot of Jaguars here in the 9 o'clock hour with both John Shipley and the coach Mark Duffner. I will tell you, it is a final in Gainesville. Gator basketball all over St. Francis tonight, as you would expect. Kind of a get-right game for the Gators. They win by 41, 102-61. Xavier Lee, the leading scorer, with 18 points. Alex Condon pitched in with 14. Ruben Chenulu, a double-double, 12 points and 11 rebounds, as Florida improves to 7-4 on the year. They have two more non-conference games, Colgate and Dartmouth. They will win both of those. They'll be 9-4 when SEC play begins in the beginning of January, and they start out with Missouri right out of the gate. So a nice win, now 2 in a row for the Gators. Again, 102-61 tonight over St. Francis. You know, we mentioned this last evening, but it's worth repeating. Probably, and you would expect it this time of year, so it's not really, a deep thought that I'm giving you. I mean, it happens. The deeper into the year you get, the more important these weeks become. But Week 16 of the National Football League, which begins tomorrow, has some unbelievably important games. Numerous, unbelievably important games. And it begins right out of the gate tomorrow night. I mean, a gigantic game between the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Arguably the two best teams in the NFL, arguably the two best teams in the NFC. You could probably make an argument for the San Francisco 49ers in their own division. You could probably make an argument for Green Bay, although they have some injury problems now. Maybe Chicago, although I would think most would have Seattle and the Rams ahead of Chicago. Bottom line, it's a massively important game in the NFC West and in the NFC as a whole when the Rams and Seahawks get together in Seattle tomorrow night. Then you fast forward to Saturday, huge game in the NFC North between Green Bay and Chicago. Green Bay limping in after the ACL tear of Micah Parsons. They lost to Denver last week. Chicago is kind of like the NFC equivalent of Jacksonville. First-year head coach. They're at 10-4 on the year and potentially staring down a division title in their first year as a regime there with Ben Johnson. They're at Soldier Field on Saturday night in a huge game. Green Bay and Chicago in the NFC North. And then you get into Sunday. I mean, where do you begin? The Los Angeles Chargers, a huge game, going to Dallas. You got Tampa Bay and Carolina. And as we mentioned this last night, this is the first time they've played each other. They'll play again in Week 18. Why on earth the NFL has Tampa Bay and Carolina playing twice in a 3-week stretch in Week 16 and then 14 days later in Week 18 is quite frankly beyond me, but they lucked out in a way because two massively important games. Those games between Tampa Bay and Carolina will decide the NFC South. So the NFL got a little lucky there. We know how important Jacksonville and Denver is. We've talked about it all week, and we'll continue the conversation. Pittsburgh and Detroit. Detroit is on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. In the NFC, they basically have to win on Sunday. Pittsburgh doesn't have to win because they're in a weird situation, depending on what Baltimore does. Now, if Baltimore continues winning, it could be an interesting scenario for Pittsburgh, but I even think even if Baltimore goes 2-0 and Pittsburgh goes 0-2, nothing is really going to matter for the Steelers unless Week 18 they beat Baltimore. Now, if Pittsburgh does win these next 2 games and Baltimore were to lose the next 2, well, then Pittsburgh would win the division prior to Week 18. But if Baltimore wins out, it doesn't even matter what Pittsburgh does this week or next week. As long as they beat Baltimore Week 18, they would be in the playoffs. And as we know, you look at the AFC playoff picture, only one team is coming out of the AFC North. Either Pittsburgh is getting in or Baltimore is getting in, because they're both not getting in. Whoever does not win that division is not getting a wild card spot. So a huge weekend for Baltimore. Pittsburgh as well would like to win as well. And then New England and Baltimore on Sunday night. We've talked about the Baltimore perspective. New England coming off blowing a game against Buffalo where they were up 21 at home. They're limping in. If you're a Jaguar fan, if you're a Denver Bronco fan, well, you're a huge Baltimore Raven fan. Because if Baltimore at home knocks off New England and falls them to 11-4, well, then Jacksonville is in play for the 2. A Denver win combined with a New England loss would almost lock up the 1 for them. Huge game for the Patriots. And then finally, Monday night. San Francisco needs to continue to win to help their seeding. Indianapolis is probably in must-win territory. With Phillip Rivers at quarterback, it'll be his first time playing in front of a crowd at Lucas Oil Field. Remember, the last time he was the quarterback of the Colts was the COVID year of 2020. No one was in the stands. So even though this will be like the 10th home game that Phillip Rivers has played as the starting quarterback of the Colts, it'll be the first time he's actually had a crowd there to watch him, and it's a must-win for Indy. If Indy doesn't beat San Francisco, it's almost curtains for them to get into the postseason. And something else to think about, to put in the back of your mind. We're all focused on Jacksonville, Denver, no question. Jacksonville does go to Indy a week from Sunday. That will be a short week for the Colts. They play on Monday Night Football, meaning 44-year-old Phillip Rivers plays on Monday Night Football, and it will be a short work week. They will be right back at it 5.5 days later, basically, against Jacksonville in Week 17. Will Phillip Rivers be recovered from Monday night at 44 years of age to have a quick turnaround like that to welcome the Jaguars in a week from Sunday? So a lot to get into. I know I just threw a lot at you, but the bottom line, summing it all up, huge weekend of NFL football with many, many consequential games, including, and maybe more importantly than all of them, is Jacksonville and Denver. The Broncos, the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Jaguars, currently the number 3 seed in the AFC. 2 teams that have a combined record of 22 wins and only 6 losses here in 2025. The coach, Mark Duffner, 50 years coaching experience on the gridiron. He joins us in less than 20 minutes. Coming up next, my buddy John Shipley, Jaguars on SI. Let's preview Jags Broncos. Let's talk Trevor Lawrence. Let's talk Liam Cohen. And let's look at the AFC playoff picture. We'll do all that next. John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, on Hacker After Dark.
When you add up the moments and break down the best,
It's a hostile environment.
you're left with a performance painting high-performance play of the game
Up in the air, it is caught!
on 1010XL.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Your pipes are leaking, don't get nervous. Fa la 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 la. Call Roll and Reach for same day service. Fa la 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 la. He guarantees your satisfaction. Fa la 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 la. Call Roland and he'll spring into action. Fa la 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 la.
This holiday season, if you have a leak and can't wait a week, dial 904-260-7059. And from the Roland Reach family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The new Ackerman Cancer Center is now open at World Golf Village, providing state-of-the-art screenings and diagnostic exams with no referral required. Same-day appointments are available. Call today or visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pest Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Custom Home Builders. Fed up with your electrical and low voltage companies that ghost you mid-project, sparking delays? Unreliable subs and poor electrical work that derails your schedules? Denny Thompson here for Tyson Inc., experts in seamless electrical services for your custom builds. Pre-construction planning, integration, and installation. No hassle. Your homeowners will love the new Tyson showroom. Home builders team up with Tyson for your next home building project. TysonInc.com.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, adorable mascot for Checkmate Coatings.
If you're thinking of refinishing your garage floor, there's two things you need to know about us. My family has been in the concrete coatings industry for more than 40 years.
And I was drawn 6 months ago by an artist in New Jersey.
Why is that even relevant?
Well, you said 40 years experience, so I had to give them something.
Over the years, we've worked closely with major manufacturers to develop a multi-layer application process that creates beautiful, durable, and long-lasting floors.
So even decades from now, your garage floor will look as gorgeous as it did the day it was installed.
Experience?
Check. Durable?
Check. Decades of experience making garage floors gorgeous? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Here's a simple tip for shoulder health to improve your posture. Slouching can put extra stress on your shoulders, leading to pain and injury. Make sure your head is over your shoulders are relaxed and pulled back, and your spine is properly aligned. Whether you're sitting or standing, if you sit for long periods of time, make sure to get up and take breaks and work on pulling your shoulders back. Get up and get moving, Jacks, and go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Hicken here. This holiday, skip the gift that gets returned. I got a better idea. Give a custom pool from Surfside Pool. It's the ultimate present. Memories, relaxation, and instant hero status. Surfside Pools handles new builds, custom designs, heating, and weekly maintenance, so you get all the credit. Warning, may cause excessive smiles and backyard envy. Save the holidays, turn your backyard into paradise. Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Float happy, gift responsibly. License number CPC 044080.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Broncos, Sunday, 4 o'clock out at Mile High. You'll hear it right here on 1010XL, and what is a big one In the AFC, the Jaguars currently sitting 10-4 on the year, winners of 5 in a row and 6 of their last 7. Let's talk about this Jaguar winning streak. Let's look ahead to the big one out in Denver on Sunday with my buddy John Shipley. He does a terrific job covering the Jaguars for Jaguars on SI, and John's always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. John, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, my friend. How you doing?
Hey, John, we're good. Thank you so much for the time. You and I spoke a couple of weeks ago, and at that point, the Jaguars, I believe, were on a 2-game winning streak. Fast forward to now, it is a full-blown 5-game winning streak. They are 6-1 since the bye, and Trevor Lawrence probably just played his best game as an NFL quarterback. John, why is it going so well right now for this football team?
Yeah, I think they're really just clicking on all cylinders. I mean, you've seen, I think the biggest sign that this coaching staff has done a good job and that Liam Cohen was the right hire is that you've seen this team and individual players throughout it improve over the course of the season. I mean, it's hard to find a guy right now who hasn't gotten better since week 1. Just going down the list, Trevor Lawrence has been better. Travis Etienne's gotten better this year. Unheralded guys like Jarian Jones, Buster Brown, Antonio Johnson, Cole Van Lannon. These guys have all gotten better. You got practice squad, formerly guys like Quentin Morris and Matt Dickerson making impacts week to week. I mean, it's just the Jaguars are doing the things that good NFL franchises do. They're developing players. They're getting them better over the course of the season, and they're finding out what works for them. I mean, the defense, especially since they've gotten everybody healthy and kind of back, has been on a roll. I'd say as much so, though not as, maybe highlight worthy as the offense. And then the offense, I mean, we've seen it before. Trevor Lawrence, when he gets hot, when he gets on a run, there's no real making sense of the how, when, or why. It's just, when you know. And right now he's playing one of the best stretches of his career and quite arguably had the most, productive day, not only of his career on Sunday, but maybe in the entire history of the franchise. That's how big of a game it was.
It was a crazy performance, and you go back, I believe you and I spoke after Arizona, if memory serves. And at that point, the Jaguars won, but Trevor threw 3 picks. He had the fumble, right? It was a 4-turnover game, yet Jacksonville won. And people were talking about the Jaguars winning in spite of Trevor Lawrence. Well, the last 3 games, John, he's accounted for 10 touchdowns and no turnovers, including what he did against the Jets. I mean, that was like the varsity versus the junior varsity on Sunday. Is it just a matter of it's clicking now with Liam Cohen? I mean, why do you think all of a sudden these last 3 games the light has seemingly come on for Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I think it's definitely clicked with Liam. I think as Liam gets to know him more, as he gets to know Liam more, they're figuring out, what Trevor's best at. And I also think you can't ignore that, they made arguably the most important midseason acquisition of any NFL team this season when they traded for Jakobi Meyers. The impact he's had for the Jaguars, it isn't even just about how good Jakobi Meyers has been on his own, which he's been fantastic. I don't think we've ever seen a receiver work the middle of the field for Trevor Lawrence as well as Meyers has in Lawrence's entire time in Jacksonville. I can't think of anybody who's even close. It feels like Lawrence already trusts him, even in really tight windows deep down the field. And, when Lawrence is confident and he isn't afraid to keep firing, and as Liam Cohen said, let it rip, then, he can really make special things happen. And I think bringing Meyers in, obviously outside just what he does, it helps Brian Thomas Jr. You're seeing Brian Thomas Jr. much more effectively work downfield now. Earlier in the season, they were kind of asking Brian Thomas Jr. to do the dirty work, to, go over the middle, do a lot of the things that Jakobi Meyers is doing right now. That's not exactly his game. His game's always been, the further downfield he gets, the more dangerous he is. And he's shown that. I really think the lights come on for him. And I think adding Jakobi Meyers is a big reason. And then take it another way. Parker Washington, when Travis Hunter got hurt, was the Jaguars' number 2 receiver. He's certainly talented enough to do that. But now he's Parker Washington as your number 3 receiver, and him and Britton Strange are your 3rd and 4th best receiving options. I just think that's a stellar spot for Trevor Lawrence to be in. And, kudos to the Jaguars, their scouting department and their front office for making that move, and for, Jakobi Meyers playing as well as he has. And, you're right. A lot of people were saying after that Cardinals game, they won in spite of Trevor. I think even the argument then was they still won because of Trevor. And I'd say obviously in spite of his turnovers, but we've seen him make these high-level throws week in and week out throughout his career. He did in the Cardinals game. throw he made at Jacoby Myers in the red zone that game was absolutely bonkers. The difference now, like you mentioned, is he's not committing turnovers. He's not making the foolish decisions. And I think the fact that he's finally ironed out that part of his game, at least for right now, that's why you're seeing such an uptick in his production. Because the big time throws and the blue chip moments, those have always been there.
John Shipley, Jaguars on SI, with us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. John, I remember 100-degree weather, you and I sweating like dogs out there in July and August, and Travis Etienne, the thought among, quite frankly, some of us in the media and a lot of the fans was, boy, Tank Bigsby's getting all the number one reps, right? Are they going to trade Travis Etienne? Are they going to release Travis Etienne? It's going to be his final year here in Jacksonville. Well, that last question is still to be determined, but not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns for Etienne last week in the win over the Jets. He's on pace to have a career year. What a resurgence for Etienne here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think this is the best he's ever looked in the NFL. Obviously, his first year, playing in 22 was really productive. If you look at it as like yards from scrimmage and his yards per carry, but I think this is the best he's ever looked against the Colts. Some of the moves that he made and some of the vision he ran with was things I don't think you really saw from Etienne in the past. He's improved in pass protection. He's obviously been making plays as a pass catcher. He's a really good fit in Cohen's scheme because of what he can do in the screen game. And you're right. When training camp started, Tank Bigsby was getting the bulk of the majority of the reps of Trevor Lawrence. I'd say that continued until probably about 7th or 8th practice. So it definitely looked like Tank had the inside track. But, Etienne, just what he can do as a 3-down back, he's just been so valuable to them. One of the most respected guys in the locker room, I can tell you that, Hacker. The guys in the locker room love Etienne, how he works, how he plays. The coaching staff, front office, all love him. He's really a guy who I think the way he's played, like to me, obviously, you're not trying to make him a top end of the market kind of deal. It just doesn't feel like doing that for a running back at this point is what the Jaguars need to do. But if they can get him on a reasonable deal, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to bring him back and continue to let Bayshall Tootin kind of be the Robin to his Batman. The thing is, if you're Travis Etienne and you're having the year you just had, he can probably get a pretty good deal on the open market. So I do think that there's a future for Travis Etienne potentially in Jacksonville if they can make it work, and that they should be interested. I'm not saying they are, but I just think they should. And I'm interested to see how that one plays out because week by week he's really looked more and more indispensable.
John Shipley, Jaguars on SI. All right, John, let's look forward. You mentioned Bayshall Tootin. We found out on Monday that Tootin's going to be out with a finger injury, likely to be back for the postseason, but certainly going to miss the next game or two at least. What does that mean? Etienne's going to get the bulk of the carries. Obviously, LaQuint Allen Jr., I would assume, takes over the Bayshall Tootin role. And do you expect them to elevate Jaquindon Jackson from the practice squad to be running back number 3?
Yeah, I do think so. I think just the fact that they use LaQuint in so many other roles, on special teams and such, that they will probably want, more than just, Travis and LaQuint up. So I would think Jaquindon Jackson will get up. Tootin, I'm not expecting him to go on IR because if you went on IR, you have to miss the wild card week. So I don't expect that to happen. So, it's obviously a loss, especially this week against Denver, because not just for what he's done on offense. He scored 6 touchdowns as a 4th-round rookie. I think you'll take that all day. He's had some really impressive flashes. That catch he made against the Jets was a really impressive play by him. And I think where he's probably going to be missed the most is the return game. He gives them a spark as a kick returner. He gives them a boost. I'm interested to see who they would put back there alongside LaQuint Allen with Tootin out. Potentially De'Ami Brown, potentially Austin Trammell. But that's where I think, especially against Denver, how much he helps with the field position battle, that you will kind of feel him not being out there.
It's a heck of an opportunity for LaQuint Allen Jr., though, no question about it. And that brings us to Denver, the number 1 seed currently in the AFC. Although talking to people out there this week, they're kind of like Jacksonville in the sense that they're starting to feel like they're overlooked. I think they were a home dog to Green Bay last week, which they didn't really appreciate. Now, look, I think they're getting much more national acclaim than the Jaguars are. But certainly these two teams, John, the fact that they are a combined, 22-6, has probably caught a lot of people off guard.
Yeah, I mean, the three hottest teams in football right now, in my opinion, are all in the AFC. The Jaguars, the Texans are both having very similar runs. I think 5 and 6 game win streaks, and then the Broncos. The run that they're on right now, they just win games. I think teams at any point in the season are going to use whatever they can. That's kind of a motivation boost. So it doesn't surprise me to hear that they're saying they feel disrespected. It's probably a little bit more real here in Jacksonville, at least from a national perspective. But I mean, it's as talented of a team as the Jaguars have faced all season, and you can make an argument that they are the toughest foe the Jaguars have faced this year. I mean, I don't know how many other teams, I'm sure a couple, but have faced the number one and number one seed in both the AFC and NFC this year on their schedule, like the Jaguars are about to. So I think they're right up there with how difficult of a game the Rams game was. I think obviously the Jaguars are clicking right now, and they're healthier, and they should be much better than they were in that game. But to me, this is a really good limitless test to see, where the Jaguars really stack up in AFC. Because to me, if the Jaguars win this game, even if they don't win, they just look like they belong. I think you have to consider the Jaguars a legitimate AFC contender, because the AFC just feels that wide open this year, especially with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, out of the running.
It's a gigantic game because, look, the Jaguars are currently the 3 seed. There is a world where after Sunday they could be the 2 seed if they win and New England loses to Baltimore. But, John, if you lose, you go from the 3 seed to likely the 7 seed at that point. Jacksonville is still pretty comfortably in the playoffs, but for seeding purposes and for perception nationally, for whatever that matters, and I think it does matter to Jaguar fans and certainly the Jaguar organization, a gigantic game and a gigantic opportunity at Mile High.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are competitive. They obviously want to be in the playoffs one way or another, but they want to win the AFC South. And really, to win the AFC South, this is probably the most important week the Jaguars have left, because you look at their schedule, this is the toughest game by far that they have left. You look at the Houston Texans schedule, I mean, they play a good Chargers team. That's obviously could be a close matchup. I'd expect them to take care of business against the Colts. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, I think, would put up just as much of a fight as, the Orange Park Athletic Association Raiders this Sunday. So the Jaguars, though, they control their own destiny. I mean, you said it's a major game for playoff seeding. And if the Jaguars just win this game and see either the Colts lose to the 49ers or the Texans lose to the Raiders, which obviously won't happen, but, more so the Colts won, they can secure a playoff spot. So, no, I think it's a massive game. I mean, every game moving forward is important for them. That's why even the Jets game was important, because of what Houston's doing, what the other teams in the AFC are doing. And that, I think, helps the Jaguars, because it means that they can't look ahead any week. They have to stay completely locked in. And I said it a few times last week. I got the sense that, I mean, the Jaguars were viewing the Jets game as like a playoff level game. I mean, they weren't for a second looking at the Jets as, this junior varsity level NFL team that they were just about to push around. So I think that's the mentality that they're going to bring on Sunday.
Jaguars Broncos Sunday 4 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear it right here on 1010XL. John Shipley, Jaguars on SI. John, tell the good folks here in Jacksonville, man, what you'll have coming out social media and on the website leading up to kickoff on Sunday in Denver.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to, each week we preview the game. We do a roundtable of our writers, kind of give our predictions, biggest keys of the game, and, continue to check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Jaguars on SI for more content from inside the locker room and inside the facility.
He's one of our favorites, John Shipley, Jaguars on SI. John, I know you're busy. Thank you for the time. I'll see you down there in the Jaguar locker room this week.
Sounds good. I'll see you later this week, buddy.
Gator Bites Podcast with Ryan Green and Dylan Denmark. New episodes every Wednesday.
Search 1010XL Florida Gators Podcast.
In Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean.
Or visit 1010XL.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Look, I was recently talking with Patrick and the team at Apex Roofing and Contracting, and even in a tough economic year, they wanted me to say thank you. Guys, Apex is locally owned, and they truly appreciate every homeowner and business owner who trusts them with roof repairs, replacements, or construction projects this year. So from the entire Apex crew and from me, happy holidays to all of our listeners, customers, and clients. And remember, for quality work from a team that cares about our community, that's apexroofingfl.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and this time of the year, Honda has such a great lineup, especially when you want to get out on the road and just cruise.
Temperatures letting up a little bit, Oktoberfest is coming, legendary Honda Goldwing, legendary Honda Rebel that's now an automatic, lots to choose from, and lots of easy riding.
And the price range and the size of the bike, you have a wide variety.
We do, from entry points to the finest of the fine.
All right, check them out, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency, or their Facebook page.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jax cool since '87.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. It's a big one in the AFC on Sunday. Jaguars, Broncos. You'll hear it right here, 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon on 1010XL as the Jaguars sit now 10-4 on the year after absolutely destroying the New York Jets this past Sunday. Let's look back on the win over New York, Trevor Lawrence's career day, and also let's take a look ahead to the big one out at Mile High against the Denver Broncos. My buddy Mark Duffner, the coach, 50 years coaching experience in both the college gridiron and, of course, the National Football League. And Coach is always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. Coach, how are you, my friend?
Oh, Hacker, are you kidding me? I'm on cloud nine. What a tremendous effort in front of our home fans yesterday. I mean, I don't know that you could do any better than what they did. And to have 10 wins right now and playing meaningful ball in December, we're all elated.
Coach, it was a dominating performance, and let's not bury the lead. Trevor Lawrence, 380 combined yards from scrimmage, 6 touchdowns, 5 passing, and 1 on the ground. Statistically, by far and away, his best game as an NFL quarterback. Coach, why was Trevor so good on Sunday?
I just saw confidence in him from the get-go. I mean, the opening drive was the way you draw it up, it was outstanding. And I wrote that down. I'm watching it in the press box, and I'm going, wow, is he on fire? And he was on fire really the whole first quarter. The first 3 drives, he's 8 out of 10, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, great scrambles, a 15-yard scramble for a touchdown, another one